Hello, everyone. It's Larry from Flying L Comics. Today, I wanted to talk about conservation versus restoration and how CGC has seemingly changed uh, what they consider uh, restoration. So, yesterday, I received back these two books along with a larger shipment, but these two stood out as they were both marked B1 restoration. And the only thing that was listed on these two books was cover cleaned. That's it. So I have turned in many books with CGC. Many have the same conservation methods that I use for cleaning. This is the first time these two have come back. I know they have a lot of new graders there. Maybe they're changed their standards. I don't know. Um, it was disappointing to say the least because I consider both of these books minor grails, and to have that happen, it was quite surprising actually. So today, what we're going to do is I'm going to take both of these books out of their slabs. Specifically, we're going to for the video, we're going to use Amazing Spider-Man number 41, First Rhino. Now, what I'm going to do really for this video, I've already expressed my disappointment in what happened, but I want to show you how to properly remove a CGC graded book from the slab. It's not hard. It's very easy to do, but it's also very easy to screw up. So I will give you a very detailed lesson in the videos. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take this apart and we'll inspect it after we get it loose. I'm curious to see if there's anything else that caused it to get such a dramatic loss in grade. I personally, prior to sending it, graded this at about a 5. So I'm thinking they docked it a point for having the cover cleaned. So let's get to it. Okay, we're here with the Amazing Spider-Man number 41. And we're going to go ahead and remove this from the slab. Some people find this very challenging. It's actually pretty simple as long as you are careful. Now there are 4 tabs, one on each corner, and my tools for today are 2 screwdrivers, flat, and a razor blade, and that'll be to remove the comic from its sleeve. But primarily, this is it. It seems kind of caveman style. However, what we're going to do is we're going to uh, wiggle the screwdriver inside this slot, and we're going to go to the corners and just pop it. So first, let's get started. And as long as you're careful, you're not going to damage the comic book. So I'm going to go ahead and stick my fingernails in there and wiggle this tip in there. So you see right here, I have the tip in here. You hear that pop? That was the first corner. There we go. Now we'll work back across the other side. Pop. And we'll come across up the side here. Just kind of work your way down. You can hear the plastic popping. Now remember, the comic book is actually inside an inner well with an inner sleeve. And I just work this way up to the corners. We're up to the last corner. Now, the other thing I would like you to do is save your label. This is very important because that needs to go back to CGC so they can remove it from the census. Taking books out of their slabs is nothing new for them. So there's a lot of us out here that are doing restoration work. And sometimes we will get books that show that they were restored, something like this, but this one I did myself. And from there, we'll go ahead and work on them, see if we can remove the restoration. Dr. Paul's very good at that. Now, in my particular case, the restoration was cover cleaned. Now, I believe that it's when you are adding material to a book that, such as tape or something along those lines, that there's a danger of getting the restored gauge. Well, actually, you should get the restored because you're adding material. There we go. And there we have it. Okay, that's it. So this can go in the recycling bin. This will be saved for CGC to remove from the census. And now what we have is a book that is in the inner well right here. So this, they're sealed, and what we're going to do is we're going to take a razor blade and we're going to cut it across two sides, then take it out at a diagonal. So with that, I'll have a nice sharp brand new razor blade, and if you don't have a steady hand, don't do this. So I'm going to come all across the top here, very carefully I might add, and slice that. And then I'm going to come down this long side very carefully, as you don't want to slip. Steady hand again. Okay, now let's see. Looks like those pieces are loose. I'll just pop that corner, and there you have it. So we're going to take this out very carefully and just slide this out, and that's it. The book is now out of the slab. Now, the CGC will always, well, almost always, put an inner piece of paper in here. Let's see if they have it. I might be called a liar on this. And I think they didn't even bother. That's very surprising. Okay, so, oh, there it is. So that needs to come out as well. So looking at this book, it's got tan pages, slightly towards cream, but this cover was cleaned. And I did it myself, it's true. Now looking at this, and I'll open this up, what I wanted to check was the inner cover. Now the staplers are pulled here, which I knew about, but the inner cover does not look cleaned. So I think what happened is they may have taken and looked at the outside of this cover, and let me zoom in on this so you can see a little bit. So the outside of this cover was cleaned, as I said. Let me turn on the light here. There we go. Now, I used a peroxide overlay to clean this. The gloss was already faded on it, and so the peroxide overlay lifted a lot of the brown from the cover. The back cover was also done. The gloss is still there. The colors are very vibrant, as you can see with this red down here. And the colors look good here for, and they're amazing. Red is the hard color. That's the one that tends to lift very easily. But all in all, this looks pretty good. Now, looking at this and contrasting it, the cover looks very, very clean to the interior pages. So what I am going to do is actually go for a conserved grade. So my plan for this book is to take the staples out. We're going to separate all the wraps. We're going to properly clean and fix all the tears with Tengoju paper and turn it back in for a conserved grade, because clearly I'm not going to get a blue label, and I definitely don't want a purple label. So I'll go through this and we'll make a video together, and you can see the progress on this book and when I send it off and what grade it comes back at. So just for reference, this was a slight B1 4.0 grade, off-white to white pages is what they call it. I kind of disagree with that. They're more creamy colored, but we'll turn it in and we'll see what happens. See you at the next video.